but it's very deceiving 1-5.
Yeah, very deceiving. I think when you look at their schedule, you realize that real quick. And watching them yesterday and today, I think they are much improved. I think from last year defensively, they are athletic and very sound in what they do. They run to the ball well, they tackle well, and I think it's one of those games where we're going to have to play well, which we're very capable of doing. But we can't mess around. We got to go play well and do what we do well to have a chance to win.
Midway through the season, how do you analyze where you guys have come from and where you're going?
Yeah, I think each week's a different week. I've said that before. It's we've played well at times and then done things to play well. Taking care of the ball and not had a lot of stupid penalties and things like that. And of course, that hurt us in last week for sure. Just not taking care of the ball and being better in the red zone. Those are things we've done well and why we played well. And last week we didn't do those things, and it showed, and that's why we didn't score 10 points. I mean, you snap the ball 97 times and you score 10 points, then we didn't punt a lot. So I think, and you got to give Marshall some credit too. Now they did a good job. They got a good football team. They're good on defense, but you look back and you say, you know what, we had some opportunities, and those are things that we're working on, and hopefully we'll be a lot better this week.
How do you think your offense matches up well against UTSA's defense?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. They're a good conference opponent for us. I mean, I think they do a lot of things on defense well. We're going to have to play the best that we've played, I think, to get a win for sure. And the matchup as far as scheme wise, I mean, it's similar to some others. I think it's just one of those things where it's going to be two pretty good teams. And again, you can't let the record deceive you. They got a good football team.
Talking about the turnovers, how do you explain, having 5 in the first 5 games and 5 in the
Yeah.
I mean, is it just one of those?
Yeah, I wish I could. If you look at each of them, they're all a little different. We had the 2 fumbles. Obviously, we got to do a better job securing the ball. I think those are self-inflicted. And then some of the turnovers in the pocket at quarterback are you getting hit from behind or getting hit when you're not looking or whatever. I think that's another one. And then the one interception, similar to a couple other. The one, I guess, right at the end where we kind of threw it up on 4th down, which is good. You don't want to take a sack on 4th down. Give yourself a chance. Similar to a couple early in the year where the situation said, hey, let's get rid of the ball, and he did that. So still, though, no excuse. It's too many, and we got to do a better job of – and it's something we've emphasized a lot, to be honest with you. So it's a little disappointing that it showed up in a big game like that. So, for us to win these big games, we're going to have to make sure that we continue to take care of the ball.
10 points is the lowest you guys have scored all year. So
Yeah.
you kind of chip on the shoulder for the offense to get back out there and light it up.
Well, I sure hope so. It's one of those things where motivation is always good, and we definitely have that going into this week. No reason we shouldn't have a great week of practice, and we had a great week last week. Don't get me wrong. It's not like we went out there and didn't practice well. It's just Conference USA is a tough conference, and Marshall's been one of the better teams in the conference, I guess, the last couple years. So it's when you want to beat those good teams, though, you have to play at your best, and we definitely weren't at our best last week, and hopefully we'll get back on track this week.
In your estimation, how has the offensive line fared up to the halfway point?
I think a lot like some of our other positions. They've played really well at times, and at times not so well. And offensive line is one of those positions you don't really notice until they don't play real well. Then you go, okay, you know what? Those guys didn't play well, and they get a lot of blame. Sometimes they don't deserve. And then sometimes it's masked because we make a play in the passing game or something, or a running back makes a guy miss at the line of scrimmage. So sometimes that masks some of the problems you have. But those guys have done a really good job. They've come a long ways, and they didn't play their best. But each position group, I think, had their issues the other night. So I think those guys, I think you'll see a better effort, I hope, in the entire offense this week.
With homecoming falling on such an important week for you guys, do you put any added value on trying to get a win on homecoming?
Oh, no, I don't think so. They're all the same for us. I mean, it's a conference game. It's a home game. We get a chance to play here at the Rock, which is really special for our players. So I don't think it's any more important from our standpoint. I know it's good for our fans and our school, our alumni, chance to come home for homecoming. But for us, man, it's just another important conference game.
Coach Doug called this a pivotal week.
Yeah.
And said it's just one of the most important weeks to this point.
Right.
How do you get
Well, our guys have done a really good job all year. I think it's the maturity of our team. You know, we have a little bit of an older team now, guys that have been around a little bit. And I think they do a good job of understanding that, and our coaching staff does a good job. Coach Monken, you know, getting a message every week about this is the message for the week. So I think they understand that, and it is pivotal, as each conference game is. I don't think, you know, next week will be equally as pivotal. So our guys are excited, I think, to play at home again. That's important. And they understand, you know, where we are in our season and getting into the middle of conference play, that we need to continue to play well.
Message of the week, did that have anything to do with, you know, being halfway through the season and you only got 6 or 7 weeks left guaranteed?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. That's been Coach Monken addressed that the other day, you know, and also it's all our goals are still in front of us. You know, it's one of the things that we talked about the other night, the opportunity to have a chance to win the conference on our side and maybe get in the conference championship game, get to a bowl. All those things are important, but it's not going to happen unless you take 1 week at a time. And this is the next opponent. UTSA has a good football team, so we got to make sure we're ready to go this weekend.
Ito Smith, everybody knows how valuable he is to
Yeah.
the offense, but I mean, he's leading the conference in all-purpose yards, and
Yeah.
just he's a weapon. I mean,
Yeah.
does it make it? I don't know. Obviously it's a good problem to have.
Sure.
Is it even a problem to have to find different ways?
No, it's not a problem. It's good to have somebody. You know, I think each team has, you know, each team in the country has guys they want to get the ball to, and you know, we've got to do a good job each week of being as creative as we can of getting him the ball in space, and he along with 2 or 3 other guys, but. Ito's a really good football player. He does a lot of good things in space, and really he is an all-around football player. He can catch it, he can run it. You know, he's good on special teams. So we got to do a good job each week of trying to get him the ball in space.